Hey, does anyone remember a while back that whole Laurence Fox Ava Santina controversy where he got fired from GB News from making those uh, vulgar comments about how asking who would, in quotes, shag that, referring to her after, while commentating on her comments on what the BBC program, which was, what was it? I know the program, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Again, like for the last couple of videos, I'm a little bit drunk. I'm recording all these in one batch, and yeah, I'm a little bit drunk. It's Boxing Day. I've had a few. I apologise, but yeah. Anyway, so this is going back a while. This is a long time ago. This whole controversy took place, but I thought I'd give my thoughts on it now, just because it's still kind of interesting, still kind of relevant to the current political conversation. So, so Laurence Fox, he made those comments about her because she was on a BBC program. Oh, OMG! I can't believe I can't remember the name of it right now. It's one I know, but just the name of it escapes me. RN. She was basically debating Jeff Norcott on there about the need for, if I remember correctly, I think it was a men's minister for. Well, a minister for men or whatever, based on the fact that so many men are committing suicide. And so he was talking about those issues. I think he'd just released a book at that time where he sort of touched on those issues, and so he was talking about them on the BBC program. Was it BBC Breakfast? Whatever it was called. Perhaps I'll put it up on screen. Perhaps I won't. I'm just kind of a radical lad who goes by his own book on these fucking things. Sorry, I'm coming across as a right pisshead RN, but excuse me, I'm so sorry, that was so rude. I'm so sorry, that was genuinely, I'm not the kind of guy who does that kind of thing normally, but as I say, and as I've kind of said in the last couple of vids, I think, it is Boxing Day RN, and, well, actually, it's after midnight, it's not even Boxing Day anymore, it's past that, but never mind. It's spiritually still Boxing Day, so I'm still, in the Christmas kind of mood, and I'm still drinking, which I don't normally do throughout the rest of the year. But for these couple of days, I feel like the Christmas spirit has gripped me and like inserted a bottle down my throat and forced me to drink. Anyway, sorry, let's forget all that. Where was I? Talking about, so Jeff Norcott debating Ava Santina on that program on BBC, and so as and it's been so long, it's literally, what is it, 1 or 2 years, I don't know, since they had that debate, and Ava Santina, look, man, I'm not as, I think, on a personal level, if you actually interacted with her personally, I think she seems like she'd probably be kind of an okay person. She seems like she'd be pleasant enough. When she's in her media commentary mode, where she's having to play the part of representing her political side, she's insufferable. She's insufferable, and I'm sure many on her side of the political aisle, many on the left, would also say the same about right-wing figures who have to occupy a political persona on TV, when in reality, when personally, they'd be perfectly reasonable to interact with as well. Like, that's the thing. That's the trouble with the way media has sort of intruded on us these days. Like, we kind of like polarize people like that now, but in reality, everyone knows that, like, just interpersonally, everyone has different politics, and that doesn't really, that we can still interact with each other as human beings. Like, we're all still nuanced people with kind of a variety of beliefs on things. But yeah, the media space just polarizes us all, and it's a shame, but it's a reality we have to encounter these days. But anyway, avoiding that sidetrack, or moving away from it. Where was I? Yeah, so in that interaction, in that interaction with Jeff Norcourt, he was making entirely reasonable points, as far as I remember, not having revisited the video, but I'm sure he would. I mean, to be honest, Jeff Norcourt, just as another quick sidetrack, Jeff Norcourt is a very, I suppose he's nominally right wing, but he's pretty moderate. Like, he's a very establishment friendly right wing figure. You know, the BBC are still happy to have him on. He's still acceptable to them. He's not a polemic figure. He's not a radical. He's not like an edgy type of person who really challenges the metropolitan liberal worldview in any meaningful way, or maybe he does in any sort of combative way. You know, he's very polite to that milieu. He's part of it, even though he's politically opposed to it. He's still part of that milieu, and so like he's part of that social club. You know, but good figure nonetheless. I'm not criticizing him. He's just, we're all friends. Many of us are friends with people who are on the opposite side of the political aisle to us, and in real life we'd still get on with them just fine, because real life is not as polarized as the media landscape makes it out to be. But anyway, God, I'm so sorry. This is such a long tangent. Getting back to the point at hand. So Ava Santina, she was in stark opposition to the very sort of light advocacy Jeff Norcourt was making for helping out men, in their strife, in their struggles. They were the topic at hand in that debate, as far as I remember. I'm sure there were other things as well, but I think like the main thing was, oh, again, I'm so sorry for that burp. I'm so sorry, so rude. The main thing was discussing a minister for men, and Ava Santina was starkly against that. She was like shutting down Jeff Norcourt at every turn. And anyway, not to, like, I don't want to point score men versus women. I genuinely don't. I don't think that's productive. I think men and women are in this all together, and I don't think we should be pitting each other against. I don't think we should be pitting one against the other, as Ava Santina was trying to do in that debate. But as far as I understand, after that debate, I haven't delved into it deeply, but from what I've heard, she actually kind of walked back some of her points and showed a bit more sympathy to the male perspective. Now listen, it's up for debate how genuine that was. Like, was she doing that out of genuine understanding and compassion for the male plight, or did she just realise the position she took would be very unfavourable to the majority of the public, and so she was trying to protect her public image by taking a more reasonable stance after the fact? I don't know. Like, who knows? I would say, based on the history of her antipathy towards men in her public appearances, it's fair to assume she was taking that new, more sympathetic stance just to protect her public image rather than out of genuine sympathy. But I'm not going to say that's definitively the case. I'm willing to grant her the charity of suggesting that she might have been genuinely empathetic after that debate. But, like, who knows? Anyway, Laurence Fox stormed in and kind of, like, just, like, ruined the whole conversation, because it was a valuable conversation that was taking place, and Laurence Fox just stormed in and distracted from all of it by making those vulgar comments about how, saying, like, who'd shag that in his words. Totally vulgar, totally inappropriate. He shouldn't have said it. It was, look, I think the media reaction to all that was overblown. I think, particularly at the time, given all that happened when, they'd, like, ITV held this kind of like they got what's her name? what's her name? Michelle Dewberry onto one of their morning shows and basically got a panel to sit around her, like attacking her based on the behaviour of GB News and taking her to task for Laurence Fox's comments. And I thought all of that was absolutely ridiculous, given they'd fairly recently come off the back of the Philip Schofield scandal, and also at that time they'd also Channel 4 and BBC had also come off the back of the Russell Brand allegations, and so BBC, Channel 4, ITV, those channels, and Sky News as well, that whole collective, they'd been disgraced themselves before the GB News fiasco took place with Laurence Fox. So it was kind of farcical to watch ITV hosts lambasting Michelle Dewberry for the inappropriate comments of Laurence Fox. It was ridiculous. All those channels had endured far worse scandals than Laurence Fox just saying something rude about someone. It was completely absurd. But listen, putting all that aside, Laurence Fox still should not have made those comments. It was vulgar, it was ungentlemanly, it was inappropriate. I don't agree with it. He should not have done it. But the substance of what Santina was saying on that program was probably worse. She was kind of like advocating for men not to receive the help they may need from the state. To stop them killing themselves, to stop them having to go through such strife, to stop them feeling so alienated from society that they feel the need to commit the big word, suicide, or whatever you're allowed to say on YouTube at the moment. So, the whole thing was kind of a joke, I think, with that situation. Was Laurence Fox right? Was it right that Laurence Fox was fired from GB News? I don't know. Again, very uncouth behaviour that he should not have engaged in, and ever since then he's kind of like doubled down on his vulgar persona that he's adopted, after becoming a political figure, and that's kind of off-putting to me. I don't think that's a good look for him. He should not have done that. But anyway, this video is going long. I'm rambling a lot. It's one of the consequences of being a little bit drunk. Let's wrap it up. So that'll do for this video. I think I've been rambling for so long. This is going to be so fucking torturous to edit because God knows how long I've been rambling on this. But let me know if you agree with what I've said or if you oppose it in the comments. Leave a like if this was in any way valuable to you or entertaining or just stopped you from, jumping down a well and breaking your legs for the sheer fun of it. Because that'd be so fun. God, I'm so drunk. And subscribe for more videos on political and cultural topics. Bye.